This is a quick look at Klein Tools dual range non-contact voltage tester with laser pointer, model NCVT-5A.
Oh yeah.
As a DIYer, I use non-contact voltage testers when tackling basic electrical projects, whether it's swapping in a dimmer, installing a GFCI outlet, or adding an in-wall digital timer. Electricity is dangerous. So, non-contact voltage tester is a necessity, and this one's pretty straightforward, so I'll show it to you in action in a moment. Aside from its simplicity, I also like that this model uses two AAA batteries. And why is that important to me? Well, because I always have AAA batteries around the house, unlike the CR watch style button batteries that some of my other NCV testers use. Features of lesser importance to me are the handy pocket clip, which may or may not fool my friends into thinking I'm wicked smart, and the laser pointer, which I honestly just use to mess with our cats. But it has really good projection under the right lighting conditions, maybe 50 feet, and I can understand how it would be useful in the field. So let's see the tool in action. I'll turn it on by pressing the NCV power button, and then select one of the two modes by pressing the NCV button repeatedly. Mode 1 is for detecting 70 to 1000 volts AC, anywhere between 50 and 500 hertz. And mode 2, which is more sensitive, is for detecting between 12 and 1000 volts AC. I'll put it in mode 1, and we can see if there's 120 volts AC flowing through this 14.2 Romex. And there is. We can also figure out which side of this outlet is hot. As you can see in mode 1, when 70 to 1000 volts AC is detected, there's a solid audible tone and solid red light. We can also determine which is the load wire versus line wire in a switch box had I not turned off the circuit breaker. Now I'll switch to mode 2 by pressing the NCV button, and I typically start with this mode. It's more sensitive, hence safer, and NCV testers can be fickle. This one is no exception. In mode 2, the tester beeps and blinks blue for voltages between 12 to 70 volts AC, for example, the neutral side of this outlet, and functions the same as mode 1 on the hot side, which is 120 volts AC, hence greater than 70. Mode 2 can also be used to roughly trace wires, although success and accuracy really depend on how thick the wall is. When tracing, the tool beeps and blinks blue as it detects 12 to 70 volts AC, and it beeps and blinks faster as I approach the hot wire. Once it detects a hot wire, it provides the consistent audible tone and the solid red LED, as in mode 1. As I mentioned before, NCV testers can be fickle, and that can be frustrating and dangerous when you're dealing with electricity. I found this tester to be a little fickle when dealing with light switches if the covers were on, and definitely fickle with metal-clad wires which are wrapped in aluminum. It didn't detect any power. For the most part, though, this tool worked fine, detecting the hot and neutral sides of a standard outlet and GFCI outlets, including those which are tamper-resistant and weather-resistant, but there were exceptions. Lastly, in mode 2, the tool can be used to detect low voltage in wiring used for doorbells, thermostats, and security systems, although it can be a little tricky if there are higher voltage wires in close proximity, so you kind of get a false positive. A few other helpful features I'd like to share are the ability to use the tool without the tones, and to activate silent operation, you just press and hold the NCV power button for 2 seconds when turning the tool on. The tool will also turn itself off after 4 minutes of inactivity to conserve the battery power, as well as alert you to when to replace batteries. There will either be a blinking red LED if you try to use the laser, or a blinking blue LED, which means change the batteries immediately. And finally, when turned on, the tool reverts to the last mode selected. Before I wrap up, the tool weighs 2.5 ounces and is pretty durable. It can withstand a drop from up to 9.8 feet, so that's fantastic. Overall, I like this non-contact voltage tester, and kudos to Klein Tools for designing another cool tool. I hope this video has been helpful, and thanks for watching.